Let me now go across to our guests who are joining us on the show. Ruslan Botnik, Director of the Ukrainian Institute of Politics, as well as Zenia Kondratieva, journalist from Moscow. Zenia, coming first to you. Moscow has already denied that this attack has been orchestrated by the Russian side, but the Ukrainian side is asking why would they blast their own dam and put so many lives at risk?
Yeah, Moscow has not just denied the accusation, it has accused, first of all, Ukraine of committing act of sabotage and terrorism and blowing up the structures. While there are a lot of, let's say, third-party reports, some reports from locals and OSINT teams across the world that say that because of destruction, because of shelling since October last year, so for the past 8-9 months, the structures of the dam were completely, destroyed, and the water flow has just finished the matter, and we got what we got. I mean, there still has to be a clarity what exactly has happened. But answering your question, why would Ukraine blow up the dam? First of all, the dam, the hydropower plant is controlled by Russia. Ukraine controls the right bank, Russia controls the left bank. So there are reasons, I would say, for both parties, for both military to blow up. There are rumors, or there are versions, let's say, conspiracy theories that Russia was not doing well, and to stop Ukraine's counteroffensive, it could blow up the dam. The same goes for Ukraine, because it had to redirect forces, and that's basically what Russian MOD said today, that blowing up the dam allowed Ukraine to shift the entire force that has been accumulated there to other directions of the front line where Ukraine started its counteroffensive. It's the, first of all, the Donetsk direction of the front line. There would be reasons for both of them. I would note that it's very important. I've been to the dam back in May last year when it was under Russian control. It's a massive structure, and that time, more than a year back, it was discussed that, this is a critical infra. There is danger of shelling, and the shelling started a little later on, and there were HIMARS attacks and everything. The world had no, there was no range that time. Now we have the statement from the West that it's a, such a huge thing. It's a threat to people and ecology. Yes, exactly. But I mean, where were you for all these months?
Zenia, I'll just interrupt you there, because you made an important point there about critical infrastructure. We have seen, Ruslan Botnik, coming to you, attacks on infrastructure, but as she's rightly pointing out, this is a critical infrastructure, hydropower coming from here. Also, this is a dam which has the capacity to disrupt and cause a humanitarian crisis there, as we are seeing evacuations now being undertaken. Where is this war now headed with this fresh attack?
It's a very good question. Hello, colleagues. Because maybe this destruction of the Kakhovka dam, it's a sign of a new wave of the war, when the critical infrastructure should be a main goal in this war. It's a part of total war, war for existation, and it looks, of course, extremely dangerous. Today, we were lucky. We were lucky in that thing that the bigger part of the dam, which are under the water, a special dam, I'm talking not about the hydroelectric station, which was up in the up of the dam. This underwater part of this dam wasn't destroyed, and it saved a lot of lives in the side of Ukraine. Because if all the dam would destroy, we could see a wave in 3, even 5 times higher than we saw it today. And but we don't know what happened exactly, of course. But I think Russia has more reasons for this destruction of this dam. because Ukraine started a few days ago a counteroffensive operation in the south of Ukraine, and possible part of this counteroffensive operation, Ukrainian counteroffensive operation, could be crossing the river Dnipro, near lower the Kakhovka. And nowadays, because of flooding that area, there is no chance to cross this border, to cross this delta, river delta, and to bring through the river heavy armored vehicles. So there is a quite reasonable military reason in this situation, but I think this situation also shows us that both sides in such type of crises or in destroying of infrastructure are taking a lot of losses.
Senior, I want to come to you now because there was a lot of talk about the spring offensive by the Ukrainian side. Does Moscow believe that that is now coming?
Yeah, the Russian MOD has clearly stated yesterday and today, especially with the defense minister stating that Ukraine's counteroffensive has started on June 4. So for last 3 days, June 4, 5 and 6, it has been continuing. He gave out the numbers of some exorbitant numbers of how many Ukrainian troops have been destroyed, how many Russian troops have been destroyed, which is quite, surprising for the ministry to give out such numbers. But again, the direction of the counteroffensive claimed by Russian Ministry of Defense and Russian authorities is in around Donetsk. It's not Bakhmut, which we heard from Ukrainian officials, Anna Malar and others. It's not the south, which we even heard right now from my colleague here. So, I think there is a wave of shade of rumors that is around Ukraine's counteroffensive. So it's not yet clear whether it has started, because even the Ukrainian officials themselves were contradicting themselves while, answering these questions, whether it started or not. So.
Sure. All right. Also, Ruslan, the IAEA has now said that there is no threat to the Zaporizhia nuclear plant. However, if we are seeing this kind of offensive take place on the ground, it poses a risk to the entire world in some sense. Why isn't the world community stepping up pressure now when we are seeing critical infrastructure being hit now in the war to bring an end to this war?
Because everybody believes that there is a chance to win this war by military ways, by military technologies and path. And it looks like this counteroffensive operation of Ukraine may be one of the last counteroffensive operations this year, because the political climate in the West is changing, and there are two big parties inside of the United States and Europe are fighting again on the Ukrainian topic. One of them are standing on the frozen the conflict, another is standing for the continuing the fight. And also in Ukraine, there is also a very big tiring of society in this situation. So it may be the last strike. Talking about the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, of course, there is some kind of risk, but I think it's not too high for nowadays, because this nuclear power plant is in freezing mode nowadays, and it doesn't use a lot of water. And this station has enough of water to freezing their engines for the next few months, maybe a few years, even. Such specialists in Ukraine says.
All right. Ruslan and Xenia, both of you, thanks for joining us with those details, perspective. This really is a serious turn that this war has now taken, and one will have to wait to see whether at the multilateral bodies level this matter is now taken up, because critical infrastructure is now being hit, posing a big risk of an escalation here.